evening and welcome to PSBN and to Pretend Football Now. My name is Syke Manders and with me is Mal Padiros. Mal, we have got an amazing set of playoff happenstance. The results are in. I've been running back and forth. I'm a mess. I'm an absolute mess.
And you should be. It was absolutely raucous. No one expected anything to happen, but when all of the chips were down and all of the trees were trimmed, we were down 4 more teams. We only have 8 remaining survivors this NJC FFL season.
That's right. Absolutely a jam-packed. We're going to go over a few of the games, and we're also going to have a special interview.
Yeah, we have another coach interview coming up this week. It's very, very fantastic. I think you're all going to really enjoy it. And after all, we are all one big family here at PSBN.
Except when the teams are playing each other. Then we're the bitterest of enemies.
Only then.
Only then. Let's get into the action. I've got a single question for you.
What's that?
Did you bring your paintbrush?
Definitely.
Excellent. Because it's time for us to paint playoff picture. Now, let's go over our first matchup featuring the number 12 seeded Catskill Cleavers, who won their first playoff matchup over the Flapjacks 121-44. They took them and they just crushed them flat on the plate, drowned them in syrup, their own syrup. It was a slaughter.
And it absolutely took nothing from the Catskill Cleavers to do that. They were dominant.
Absolutely dominant. Absolutely. Now the Cleavers move on to face their bitter division rivals, the Bill Brunoists, who are now in the second round. The Brunoists, they took the season series 3-1, and they look to continue the Suck It parade throughout the playoffs.
Yeah, and when they are the number 1 overall seed, so many of the betting lines out there are saying that they should dominate this matchup.
Yeah, absolutely so. Now, as far as the 121 points that the Cleavers scored last week, that was the second highest that they've scored all year.
No.
Now, in this particular contest, would I consider it all right to say that you are firmly on the side of the Brunoists?
I think that the Cleavers have been on a real tear recently. They've fought their way into the playoffs. They've done a really great job. And like you mentioned, 121 points, their second highest total that they've scored all season long. But I think I speak for everyone here at PSBN as well as around the world when I say that the Cleavers can't win.
They absolutely cannot. It would be a travesty for both America and the entire world. Mal, who do we got for the second match?
Well, our second matchup features the number 8 seeded Detroit RoboCops leaving the safe confines of OCP Stadium after cooking the Maplewood smoked Kevin Bacons to face off against their divisional foe, the Cooter Institute Beavers. Now, the RoboCops only won 1 of the 4 matchups of these two teams during the year, but it was their most recent matchup in week number 12. The Beavers, however, were the overall highest scoring team in the league this year, and they look to continue that trend through the playoffs. I mean, hell, even during the bye week last week, the Beavers, that is, put up a daunting 147 points.
Certainly nothing to sneeze at.
No, they were absolutely ridiculous. It seemed as though they were wanting to just show everyone that they can do no ill. So my question for you, sir, is who do you got in this matchup?
It's maybe a controversial decision or opinion to have. But as I watched the very game, between the RoboCops and the Maplewood Smoke Kevin Bacons, my close personal friend, Bub Flipper, I gotta say, and I'm quoting him directly here, he looked me right in the eyes and he said, "You know what happens to Beavers when they run into RoboCop? They either get hassled if there's nothing wrong with them, if they're not committing any sort of crime, but if they're committing a crime, they get dealt with." And that's exactly what they're going to do on the field. It doesn't make much sense, but that's what he told me directly.
That was remarkably long-winded. But I agree. I believe that this is the week that the Beavers get dealt with.
And after dispatching the not very goods in the last round. The 7th seeded Lakers Dirigibles head to the unfriendly confines of Sharpsville to face the dreaded Gravy Legs. The Dirigibles, they had a fine week being carried into the win by Allen Robinson, and they're looking to exact some revenge for their most recent Week 11 loss to the Gravy Legs. Sharpsville, on the other hand, were sitting back with their poop-covered feet up, watching the carnage happen all around them. They have to feel delighted to be hosting the Blimps, who have not won at Sharpsville this season. Maul, who do you got?
Well, I think you've hit the nail right on the head. I don't know how the Blimps are going to get over the psychological disadvantage of not having won in Sharpsville this season, but something about the roster makes me believe that the Lakers Dirigibles have the firepower to dominate the Gravy Legs this week. I'm going with the Blimps.
Well, it's a fine opinion that you have, but playing devil's advocate, I'm going to have to go with Sharpsville. And the reason I say so is that Sharpsville has played excellent football this entire season. I don't think that the Blimps have it in them to rise to the occasion.
We'll just have to wait and see. And our final matchup sees two teams whose paths have crossed many different times this year in different ways.
Sure.
Now, the Georgie O'Keeffe Vagina Flowers won the Battle of the Labias over the Brunswick Ball Breakers and head to the Tubbytronic to face off against the Tinky Winky Stinky Pinkies. Now, these two teams met up way back in week number 8 with the Flowers coming out smelling like roses, 87-62. Now, many around the league also feel that the Flowers got the better end of the trade that they made against the Tinky Winky Stinky Pinkies earlier this year. Now, some of the insiders here at PSBN deny that, or they doubt it, actually. I mean, after all, look who was playing last week, and look who was sitting on the beach in Maui.
There you have it.
At the end of it all, who do you got?
After watching that battle between the Vagina Flowers and the Ball Breakers.
Oh, it was a bloody battle
it was
of the vaginas.
Made me very uncomfortable to watch. I'll say that much. I'm going to have to go with the Stinky Pinks. They are a team that is an underdog team. They love to be under the gun. That's when they perform their best. And that's exactly how they shocked the Flapjacks. I think it's going to happen again.
Well, I would agree. I don't think anyone is going to be shocked if the Stinky Pinkies beat the Vagina Flowers this week.
Everybody, let's lock in the airwaves because we've got a Coach's Corner interview for everybody here at PSBN.
Oh, it's going to be fantastic.
I would like to be the first to welcome our guest, Coach Addesso. Hey, Coach, welcome to PSBN.
Hi, guys. Thanks for having me.
Now, Coach, you've got a big matchup this week against the Vagina Flowers in the playoffs. What is your expectation of your team's effort this week?
Well, you want to go out there and give it 110%, play pretty good. I think we're going to go out there and play pretty good.
Yeah.
Got to give it 110%.
I see. Now, I'm sure everyone is going to give 110%. Anyways, you've been quite vocal this year. You're first in the league. More vocal even than last year's rookie coach, Onyx Garcia, which is no small feat to say the least. What would you say to Coach Onyx about his team's failures this year?
Coach Onyx in the playoffs? Come on. You kidding me? Coach Onyx can barely win a game. Talk about the playoffs.
Oh. Okay. All right.
So now, getting back to your game, your matchup this week, many thought that you ruined your team's chances early in the season when you sent Matt Forte, among others, to the Vagina Flowers for about 15 free agent blind bid bag of peanuts and a player to be named later. How do you think this deal worked out for you?
Well, Matt Forte wasn't going to play well in the Tubbytronic anyway. Like Buddy Ryan said back, who knows when, I'd trade him for a 6-pack of beer and it doesn't even need to be cold.
Well, those certainly are harsh words, Coach. There are some sensitive parts around here. I just want to let you know that.
Well, all I got to say is to Coach Lyons, when you step foot in the Tubbytronic, we'll be waiting for you.
Ugh.
Well, thanks, Coach. Good luck the rest of the way in.
Thanks, guys. Have a good day. What I want now is for all you stank, cheddar-gorged, tuna-tulip sausage wallets, keep the noise down while I show you what a real pretend roster looks like. Hit the music.
Take you again. Dipsy, blow, dynamics, say hello.
Wow, I am still reeling after all that information disseminated, spread amongst all of the PSBN nation. It's an intoxicating feeling. Maul, what is your word of the week?
Decisive.
Decisive. Right there. It's all right there.
Right there.
Right there, too. Right in your face. So, from all of us here at PSBN, we hope you have a great evening, and we hope you've enjoyed Pretend Football Now.
Playoff picture. 5, 4,